I think now is like the time like you get to explore and do things and be, I guess, like an inner child. You could use your imagination as much as you can to elevate your online presence, because like the typical ways of posting and using social media kind of like are dying out, especially with AI. And then you got like the short form, video content too, that's like just shot on iPhones, which is pretty cool in itself. So I guess like us as video creators, like now we have to like kind of shift our focus on like how can we create worlds around brands that like need that and need to bring people into their world and into their atmosphere. Consistent content, I believe, is like a key. It's a strategy, but it's a key, because like if you shoot a video every once in a while, even if you have a really good idea once, it's not going to be the same thing as having consistent ideas, executable ideas. I'm actually reading a book right now in here. My car's kind of messy, but I know a lot of people who have read this book. I read this book in college, but I'm reading it again, and I'm actually reading about simplicity at the moment and like the effects of what simplicity does in terms of like, I guess, marketing. Well, in the reference of that book, marketing, but in the reference of video production, messaging, and I guess marketing is messaging. But like when you create like certain content, like what message do you really want to tell? Like what story do you really want to tell? How do you want to turn it around to your brand? Even if you do something consistent for like 6 weeks, 6 weeks of good consistent content to promote something that you have going on within your business. Or I guess in a creative standpoint, like figuring out how can we take that concept. How can we take a concept of somebody who wants to promote something that's going on, like a promotion or something that's going on within the business? Like, how are we going to take an item, a promotion, an idea, a value, and create a moment, a visual moment, and the several visual moments around it? We see a lot of clothing lines do it well, and a lot of car companies do it well, just creating moments out of releases. Now you got to use social media to stay on people's minds as a smaller brand. So how can you scale that idea down but still make something that's drivable, make something that's marketable, make something that's executable? And I think it's just being creative. I think let's step away from just the typical talking head videos and just be a little bit more creative about how we want to tell our stories. Like, I believe there's a time and place. I think there's a certain way to talk directly to an audience now, and I don't know if calling a production team and setting up a bunch of lights and everything is like the best way to talk to a bunch of people now. Sometimes I think talking to a bunch of people now is just like pulling out a camera and just setting it up and just letting it go and saying what you have to say. So you don't have to worry about calling people to talk. You have to worry about calling people to flesh out your ideas. You want to make sure, I guess, like there's some type of result, some type of goal with every promotion campaign. I guess not promotion, but campaign, visual marketing strategy. You want to make sure it's like some type of result of what you do. Sometimes it's just gaining trust. How do we want to let people into our brands just to see like we are the ones to trust and we are the ones to do this job properly? And then as creators, we have to be like, okay, who do we talk to make this person, not even to make this person, but to take this person's real life experience and this person's real life results and translate it into something visual and digestible to an audience. And how can we break that down? How can we create a moment out of that? How can we make a simple idea but like still be, I guess, resonant? Yeah, I was about to say emotional, but I guess it don't even have to be emotional. Like sometimes it can literally just be resonant. Something that just resonates with people where they think about it like, oh, I need to call this person if I need this type of service done. Not every type of company is gonna probably need that type of video, but they might at the same time. And then sometimes being resonant, sometimes maybe being funny. You got things you could do scripted on a regular basis, but you also got things that can just take a quick second on a regular basis as well. So when it comes to having an online presence, it's more so about the strategy of how I want to establish myself online, because I know I have to do it at least somewhat consistently in order for it to be effective. I know I need to develop somewhat of a voice for it to be somewhat effective. It's like, this is like your own type of programming. This is on your own type of channel, literally, for like marketing and distribution and connection. It's everything. This is the billboard. This is the radio ad. This is the TV ad, all in one, and it's on demand. People could just look you up and find you if they feel like that you're valuable. So I wouldn't even hesitate on the how. If you know how to find, if you know where to find talents and creators, you just talk. You all build a relationship. They learn more about you. They learn more about your personnel too. Sometimes it comes down to like, who around here knows this brand so well and they have a personality enough to make moments. This all is going to take the brand to the next level. But it all starts off with perception. Perception is everything. But now we have to realize how to speak directly to people, because it's not always about gaining, but sometimes it's about retaining. It may not hit 100,000 people. It might hit 100,000 people though, but it might not hit 100,000 people. But even if it hits 100 people and it hits them to the core, directly to the point, it does something, like makes them remember. So they may not do nothing now, but they may remember this brand. Stay connected to this brand. And once you're engaged on a certain level visually, you realize, like, I'm sort of identifying with this community, but I'm trying to make sure that I fully identify with this community. But once you get a chance to go deeper into the community as it allows you, with how it's using the visuals, you realize this is the community I want to be in, and now I'm going to invest in the community as the community invests in me. So when it comes to these visuals, just break everything down, man. Create consistent content. Implement what they do on TV, like episodes, They don't have to be necessarily straight up episodes, but mentally, the way you prepare them, the way you dishing it out, you just bringing people deeper into this world.